Hola bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel and this is my angel Charles. Welcome to episode 2 of season 11. And I'm supposed to be in bed by now. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to quit my night owl rhythm and just sleep early. But then I'm like, no, I need to record a video. I want to connect with you guys. So here I am. Here we are. And there's so much I want to talk to you about. First of all, I spoke to you about observing what's going on in your reality and to reflect on everything that's happening and to ask yourself, quite literally, how am I engaging my energy in certain dynamics? I'll give you a particular relationship dynamic I'm in, and I'm realizing, wow, I'm just draining myself here. It's not, well, wouldn't say draining yet because I'm aware of it, but basically I'm chasing after someone's attention and the red flags are there. And I'm just conscious about it now because I wrote it down. I always tell you try and journal also because externalizing our thoughts helps us to see black on white what the facts are. And I guess I was, I respected this person and I also, I'm talking about a dance teacher. I really admire this person, so it was a difficult dynamic. But I'm realizing now, hey, Magic Mel, if the energy doesn't flow, if there's no equal give and receive, then what are you doing? Take your power back and put your attention elsewhere, because it's up to us to feed our energy into certain dynamics or not. We cannot control the other person's behavior, but we can control how we invest our energy or how we respond, whether to actually engage in the relationship or not. So I came to realize, hey, why are you still in that dynamic? Do you not trust that a better dynamic is out there? Maybe you're not with this person, but there's someone else out there. So it comes back to self-worth and trust and belief, and to, again, recognizing what the pattern is. So I invite you to check your relationships, and I know it's not always easy, but to really see, where is your energy drained? Where is it not reciprocated? And the way you can take your power back is to literally focus back on yourself. Or what do you want? How do you want to be treated? And if another person shows their behavior repetitively and doesn't change, and it makes you feel, quite frankly, shit, then your option is to engage with it or not. Put your attention elsewhere. That's a kind of light topic I wanted to talk about. The deeper one is, with everything happening in the world, I listened to a podcast of Mark Groves, the Mark Groves podcast, in his episode, How to Reprogram Your Subconscious Mind. And he was talking with Dr. Bruce Lipton. And there were so many gems in there. But basically what those two also were talking about, and what Dr. Lipton was emphasizing, is that we have to claim and own that we are creators. So this goes for our microcosm, like the relationship I just spoke about, that's annoying or that's draining, and the macrocosm too, guys. You can test what your subconscious programming is by the first feeling when you wake up in the morning. Ask yourself, what is your default mode in the morning? Is it like you wake up and it's all doom and gloom? Or you wake up inspired and ready to go? This is a serious question. Because if we're not conscious, our subconscious mind is the iceberg. 95% of our mental programming lies in the subconscious mind. And it's called subconscious for a reason. It's automatic. And the question we all have to ask ourselves these days is, what program is running? And do you like what the program is telling you? because we've been programmed from a very early age. Even in our mother's womb, we've already been absorbing her own programming. Whatever state she was in, whatever struggle she was in, it's all feeding into us via the bloodstream. And then from 0 to 7, we're in theta. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly, theta wave, where we're just sponges. We take in whatever we see modeled and hear, and then it runs on autopilot. And then comes all the programming for the media and whatever criticism you took in. So check your internal voice. What is it telling you? What is your first thought and feeling when you wake up in the morning? Another test is, can you look at yourself in the mirror and genuinely say, I love you to yourself? Because 80% of us out there cannot say that genuinely. And again, I'm not to judge. I was part of the 80%. I couldn't look myself in the eyes and tell myself that I love myself. And how sad, in the deepest sense of the word, is that? How gullible does that make us in terms of thinking we need to fix ourselves, thinking that something is wrong with us, thinking that we're not enough? How gullible are we towards consumption or towards other people telling us we need to be better, we need to try harder? Just think about it. So reclaiming your sovereignty, and you know that Magic Male, Hero Male's Magic Official is all about encouraging you to be discerning, think for yourself, question everything. Don't even take what I say just blindly. Don't follow anyone blindly. Ask questions. So discernment, sovereignty, which goes hand in hand. Critical thinking and sovereignty goes hand in hand. And self-empowerment all goes together. Because whether we are conscious about it or not, we are creating. Whether we're passively creating, because non-action is also action, and feeding our anger and our resentment into the collective shadow, look how that's manifesting into the world. Our own victim mode is a big part of that shadow, the sense that the world is against me. Well, what can I do? Everyone's out to get me. I can't do this because so-and-so. We need to reclaim our power. We need to reconnect with the essential divinity that is not out there separate, that is right there within you. Because if you claim that divinity within you, you will treat yourself like a divine being. And I'm not saying that we're asked to negate our humanness, quite to the contrary. We're always talking about here about and. How about the and culture? Human and spiritual, human and divine, humanly divine. A divine being incarnate. And to really steward this existence and help all of creation, like the angels, they can guide us, they can help us and support us, but only if we ask them to help us. Ask and you shall receive. And at the end of the day, it's up to us also to execute, to manifest, to act. So at the essence, the most important thing is to reclaim our sense of power. Because the so-called powerful ones are not really powerful. They're just using our sense of powerlessness to do whatever they want. So if we don't like what's happening in the world, look within you. How are you not in your own power? A few questions to think about. And you know, our human mind would rather be uncomfortably in pain rather than venture into something new. That's just the kind of default of the ego. I'd rather stay safe in my discomfort, in my toxic patterns. At least they're predictable. rather than trying out something new. Because uncertainty, unpredictability is death to the ego. But we gotta do that work with our ego, not let the ego stop us and constrain us out of fear. As soon as we claim and own our consciousness, we can fix things. As long as we say, well, something else is in charge, someone else has more power, well, that leaves us disempowered because we're basically saying that we don't have the power to change our lives or to turn our lives around or to do something creative and productive. So owning our own power is the root essence here that we need to reconnect with. And you know, was it Max Planck? Oh gosh, I wrote down so many notes. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a gem. And then I can't read my own writing. But basically, what Dr. Bruce Lipton he was quoting Max Planck, you know, in the founder of quantum physics back in 1927. Everything is energy and the universe is actually mental and spiritual. They quoted this in one of the, like, in Nature, it's like one of the foundational scientific journals out there. So it's been known, but it hasn't been widely distributed, this knowledge. It's up to us to reclaim lost knowledge and to empower ourselves through knowledge, because knowledge is power, no? So do your research. And realize how our attention and our energy, by energy I mean our emotions, where do they go? As long as they're siphoned, our attention and our energy into the old program that we're not enough, that we're no good for nothing, that we're not lovable, we're just going to be stuck in this child phase of ours, because our inner child will be constantly seeking for validation and will constantly fill that void, that lack of self-love, with consumption, with addictions. That's how we can be manipulated. But if we realize that we are divine beings, worthy, your worthiness is not even in question. I told you once also that your light is there. It's just maybe a little bit obfuscated by limiting beliefs or negative thinking. We gotta reclaim our power, because if we want to see something different in our external world, we gotta work from the inside out. And Charles Eisenstein also said, you know, we can go and, let's say in an ideal world, the planet is restored back to its utopian state. If mankind hasn't changed his inner world, their inner world, we will recreate the catastrophes out there, the decimation of species, the genocides. Because the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. We create what is going on in the world. And I know it can feel overwhelming. That's why I always encourage you just look at your personal life. What is being reflected back to you in your personal life in terms of relationships, in terms of your job, your work, just your environment? Is it what you really want? Is it aligned with who you feel is truly you? When I speak about heart's desires, it might sound all airy-fairy, but this is deep stuff, meaningful stuff. We need to reconnect back with meaning also. Because if we fall into apathy and nihilism, that would be choosing not to be, in Shakespeare's terms. And we constantly have a choice to be or not to be. And to be takes more courage than not to be. We all play a different role. Once we're awake and active, we need to unite again, because this old matrix programming is also using our separateness in its favor. We are like cells in the body of God. Okay, you can put any other name, the body of the universe. But we need to be a living, functioning cell. Otherwise, we're just like cancer in that body. We need to light up again from the inside out. That's why the phrase, follow what lights you up, follow your bliss, carries weight. What makes your eyes shine from the inside out? Your eyes are meant to shine, not only to see, but to literally shine. We got to reconnect with ourselves, reconnect with Source, and reconnect back with each other. Unity and harmony are called for. Unity, harmony, and connection. And know that your inner healing work affects the collective. That's also something I keep on repeating now. Your inner work matters because as your own consciousness rises, the consciousness outside of you rises parallel. It's not separate. Your inner world is not separate from the outer world. That's how important you are. That's how much value you have. Okay, it's getting a bit long here. Gonna keep it at that, guys. We're in an important time of transition, guys, and if you are here, you signed up for it, and you're capable, and you're worthy, and you're valuable. You are an essential keynote in the symphony of the universe. And the symphony is not played by one tune nor by one instrument. The symphony requires an orchestra. So imagine we are an orchestra, the human orchestra of the new human being, connected with his, her, their soul, and living as an expression of their soul. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments box. I'm going to post the link to the podcast in the description box. Bye, bandidos. And next episode, I'm not sure. I'll post another video tonight because it is a bit late. I'll have a chat with Charles, see what he thinks, okay? In any case, I'll see you tomorrow. I know it's the new moon in Libra and we have an eclipse going on, so I'll pull some cards for you tomorrow for sure. But reflect on this stuff. Reflect. Where are you feeling disempowered? Where are you giving your power away? And do you realize how powerful you really are? Reflect on all of these things I brought up in this episode, okay? Bandidos, ciao. Love you lots and I'll see you soon.